hypothesis testing. So you know what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is something, as I mentioned last time, it is something what we believe. Okay, what we believe. We believe that this is something. So we need to show, or we need to tell this is true or not with some evidence. Okay, so to find that evidence we use a test. That test we call hypothesis testing, because that test we use to find the evidence for hypothesis about what we believe. Okay, so we call this hypothesis testing. uh, Last time I showed you this. What about what will happen? Our claim, if case like this, our claim is average price is this much per gallon. Okay, but actually value is this much, 3.43. Our belief is $3.2 per gallon, but the actual rate, or once we calculate it, it's going to be 3.43. Okay, so at this time, I mean, under this situation, uh, do we consider our claim is wrong? No, there is no right or wrong between our claims. Okay, it's just what we believe. That's it. But if we need to, if we need to, uh, if we need to get the correct one, either it can be a wrong or right. That's why. But if we need to pick a one, we have to do something and find this is correct with some evidence. So that's why we don't have something like this. Claim is wrong, claim is right. No, something like, we don't have something like that. Okay, claim is just claim. That's it. Okay. Uh, so hypothesis testing for hypothesis. Hypothesis, most of the time, for the sample data, we use hypothesis for sample data. Okay, most of the time, almost, I would say almost all. For the possible of hypothesis about, we can create hypothesis about parameters. Okay, like mu equals something, mu equals 5.5, something like that. Okay, several parameters. It can be not only mu and sigma as well, sigma or sigma squared as well, something like this. Okay, something like that. Entire probability distribution. So our hypothesis can be, let's say our hypothesis, it's going to be X has a normal distribution with mean and sigma squared, something like this. So we check, in this case, we check our distribution has a normal, our distribution is normal distributed or not. Okay. So these are the possible scenarios that we need, that we have to discuss under hypothesis testing. Okay. So as I mentioned last time, if we need to test something, at least we should have two things, right? We need to compare what happened to this, what happened to this, like, right? So at least we should, we need to have two things. Here we consider two hypotheses. First one is null hypothesis. We denote by H naught. Okay, we denote by null hypothesis. We denote by capital H subscript naught. Okay, null hypothesis. The other one is alternative hypothesis. Normally, we denote this H subscript capital A or simple A. That's fine. Alternative, to tell it this is the alternative, simple A or capital A. That's fine. Or sometime, not very common, but sometimes some books or some internet articles, they have used H1 for the alternative cases. Okay, for the alternative cases we can use whatever meaning. Clear? But remember that for the null hypothesis, we have to stick with this notation, H naught. Okay. Okay. So we test null hypothesis against alternative hypothesis. Okay. alternative hypothesis mean is our claim. Always alternative hypothesis mean our claim. So I think, for an example, I think it will rain tomorrow. Okay, this is an example. So I think that it will rain tomorrow. So my alternative hypothesis is will rain tomorrow. Okay, my null hypothesis is what? It will not rain tomorrow. Something like that. Okay, our claim always goes to the alternative hypothesis. Claim. Okay, so you will learn more about this, the difference between null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So always we test null hypothesis. Okay, we don't test alternative hypothesis. Always we test null hypothesis. Then we take our decision whether we need to throw out the null hypothesis and go with the alternative hypothesis, or we have to stick with the null hypothesis, something like that. Okay, so always we test null hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis, which mean H naught, subscript naught. Null hypothesis denoted by H naught is a claim that is assumed to be true. So it is a claim that assumed to be true. It is not what we need to claim. I mean, it is not our claim. Okay, that is something need to be true. I'll show you more examples later. So in your case, it is really easy. In your undergrad this level, it doesn't matter. Always null hypothesis is something like equal. Okay, something equal goes to the null hypothesis. You don't have to think about it. Okay, only thing you have to think about it is about the alternative hypothesis, whether it is something like greater than, something less than, something not equal. Okay, so always null hypothesis is something equals something. Okay, I'll show you next few slides. So according to the evidence, okay, according to the evidence, we can reject our null hypothesis or do not reject our null hypothesis. Okay, so we are talking about null hypothesis. According to the results, we can say, okay, we reject null hypothesis or do not reject null hypothesis. See, do not reject mean continue to believe the plausibility of H naught. Okay, two possible conclusions of the test. Okay, see, reject H naught or fail to reject, or do not reject. Do not reject H naught. Okay, we can use these words, reject H naught. If it is reject, then definitely you have to say, okay, reject H naught. If it is not reject, which means you can say fail to reject H naught or do not reject H naught. Okay, clear? Okay, alternative hypothesis, which denoted by, in this course, normally we denote by simple A. So H simple A, H sub A. Okay. Alternative sub, denoted by, alternative hypothesis denoted by HA. This is the contradictory to H naught. Okay. So if H naught is something equal something, then the alternative hypothesis is that guy equal or maybe, sorry, that guy is not equal or greater than, less than that one. Okay. So this is something we need to show. So something, this is my H naught, something equals something. Okay, so H naught gonna be, you have to use the same thing. Okay, don't change the things what we are using for the H naught. So HA gonna be the same thing here. So here it can be like not equal, less than, greater than, same thing. Okay, clear? So these things, left hand side and right hand side, those should be equal. Okay, this is often called researcher's hypothesis. It's our belief. So alternative hypothesis is always what we believe, our hypothesis. Okay, it can be, I don't know, it can be wrong or right, but as I mentioned, we don't need to judge it. Okay, often claim that researcher would ultimately like to validate. I need to check what I need to check. That goes to the alternative hypothesis. Okay, so once you read the question, you should be able to understand what is the researchers or the questions need to check in the question, what they need to check. Okay, whether it can be like greater than, less than, or unequal, like not equal. Okay, but it can be only these three, either less than, greater than, or not equal. There is no less than, no equal, greater than, no equal case. Okay, for the alternative hypothesis. Clear? Okay, so we reject H naught, then we have, if we reject H naught, then we have to, I mean, we have a favor of HA, alternative hypothesis, but we never say we accept, okay, we never say accept HA, alternative hypothesis, okay, we don't say this, okay, we say something like this, we reject H naught, then we have enough evidence to say that our researchers claim, whatever they use in the context. Okay, that's how we deal with it. I'll show you examples later. Okay, clear? Okay, hypothesis testing or hypothesis case is some kind of something critical case. Okay, most of the time you need, if you are using statistics, you need this hypothesis test for your research, something like that. Okay, because hypothesis test is very powerful test. Okay, okay, this is an example, courtroom example. In general, courtrooms, they use two things. Again, hypothesis. One is defendant is guilty. The other one is defendant is not guilty. Okay, so you can see the power of this hypothesis. Okay, so they use only these two. Okay, they have those discussions, whatever, then finally they pick something from these two. Okay, so in general, actually they have mentioned in the US, they assume the defendant is not guilty. They assume, okay, which means it is something like ground truth. Okay, we in general we assume, okay, that guy is innocent. Okay, in the first place. So what is our claim? I mean, researchers claim, or the lawyers claim, it is he is guilty, something like that. Okay, so truth is, I mean, ground truth is we always believe he is innocent, which means this one. This is what we believe in general. So we don't have to check anything. If that person is innocent, we don't have to check anything, right? It's something else. So the thing is, we claim that, oh, the lawyers claim that, or police claim that he is not innocent. He is guilty. Okay, so alternative hypothesis is H1 is defendant is guilty. I mean the second claim. Okay, defendant is guilty. Clear? That's why we need to test it. We have to the court and test it, because we believe that, not we, actually police or lawyer, they believe that defendant is guilty. That's why we check it in the courtroom, or we test it inside the courtroom. Clear? Okay. This is really critical situation. Okay, you will see. I'll show you an example later once we are talking about errors. We have few errors, so I'll show you how these two things powerful. Okay. Okay. Example. Investigating. Okay, we are investigating the presence of random in homes being built in new development. Okay, so if the mean level of random is greater than 4, send a warning to all homes owner in the development. If this random is greater than 4, okay, if this is greater than 4, we have to send a message, otherwise it doesn't matter. So what is the H naught and H1? H naught and HA. H naught is everything is perfect or there is no problem. Okay, but what we need to check, it is not normal, which means this one, the mean level of random is greater than 4. That's what we need to check. So that's our claim. What we need to see, that's our claim, which means alternative hypothesis, which goes to the alternative hypothesis. So in this, according to this example, your H naught is, no, first I write our HA, alternative one, which is greater than 4, which, what is the greater than 4? Mean level of random is greater than 4. Okay, if you get this mean level of random, let's say mu, for an example, so you can simply write this one, mu greater than 4. Okay, so what's going to be the H naught? The other one, which means mu less than or equal. Okay, it doesn't matter if you write it like this, or you can write it as I mentioned, mu equals 4. That's totally fine. Clear? That's totally fine. So you can stick with this, or you can check what is the claim and flip it into the other side. Both fine. Clear? I think, yeah. See? Okay, so believe me, you can stick to this one, or mu equals 4. That's totally fine. Okay. Important thing is this guy. How you understand, I mean, what you have get from that question, what the researchers asked about his claim. So that's really important. Okay. So once you read the question, you have to figure it out what is HA. That's the important case. H naught is easy. Simply you can say, okay, mu equals 4, something like that. But HA is the important thing here. Okay. Okay. So once you get the question, first thing, I think that, no, we don't have. First thing is you have to mention what are these H naught and HA. That is a must. Okay. In any question, I don't know in the exam questions, but since you have online, in general, if you have a hypothesis test, you have to mention your hypothesis. What is H naught? What is HA? Okay, either using words or symbols, whatever. Okay, but if you are using these kind of notations, you have to mention what is this guy, what is mu. Otherwise, we don't know. Mu can be anything. Okay, clear? Okay, check this example. Marketing company claims, okay, they claim that they received this much, 8% responses from its mailing. Okay, they believe. So what happened? They believe that they received this much. So we need to check, is that true or not? Okay, so their claim is this company claim, okay, sorry, this company claims that they receive this much, but what we need to check. So we are the researchers here, not them. we have to check this. Clear? So since we have to check, what we have to check? We have to check whether that values is exactly that value or not. That's why alternative hypothesis is not this value. Or simply, if we consider this claim equals P, this proportion is simple P, you can write it like this. Null hypothesis always equals to that value. Okay. So in this example, I picked this example because of this. Okay. Please do not confuse with this researchers claim and what they have given. Okay. Here, marketing company claims that they have this, but what actually we need to do? We have to test. We are the researchers and our claim is that value is not equal to the value they have given. Okay, that's why it is not equal to that value. Okay. Okay. Okay, these are the 3 types of hypothesis tests that we have. I mean, almost all, not almost all. Altogether, we have only these 3 tests. We have to conduct these 3 tests. Those are the only possible tests. So first one, we call, okay, these first two, we call one-tail test. First two we call one-tail test because it considers either less than or greater than. Okay, so only one tail. I'll show a graph. I'll show the distribution next slide based on these 3 scenarios. First one is lower tail test. Why lower tail? Because our claim, okay, our claim means researchers' claim is less than. There is no equal case, okay? I mean, there is no less than or equal, definitely strictly less than, okay? So lower tail test means researchers' claim which is less than something less than something. Okay, clear? So as I mentioned, always null hypothesis is equal. Okay, you don't have to worry. It doesn't matter if you write it like mu. Since here you have less than, you can write it greater than or equal mu naught. That's fine, but equal is enough. Okay. The other one is upper tail test. Since it is upper tail test, which means this alternative is greater than something. Okay. We check something greater than something. Okay. So that it goes to upper tail. We call it upper tail test. Both these lower test and upper tail we call one tail test. Okay. The other one is two tail test. Since it is two tail, which means not equal case. Alternative is not equal. Okay. Clear? I think next slide. Yeah. See, this is the lower test, which means we have this area. Okay. So we have to check our mu naught. This guy is our mu naught is okay. Let's say this is our mu. Okay, this blue color line value is a value. Okay, not the line. This blue color line value is the mu. Okay, I'll write it somewhere here. This is my mu. So I need to check my mu naught, my value, which means mu naught is less than. Sorry, not my value. Mu less than my value. So this is greater. Okay. Yes. Yes, it is correct. Case like this. My mu value is here. Mu naught value is somewhere above that value, somewhere here, somewhere from here to here. Okay, case like this, which means this test, lower tail test, left hand side tail. In the, if you consider normal distribution, most of the time we have normal distribution. So in normal distribution, left tail belongs to this type of test. Okay, clear? The other one, upper tail, which means somewhere here. My mu is somewhere here. Mu greater than this case. Okay, I'm not talking about whether we reject or not, do not reject. I just show the area. Okay, what they have mentioned here. Mu somewhere here, mu naught somewhere here, in between the its beginning and this point. In that case, something like this. Okay, clear? Don't use these to judge. Okay, this is not the exact one we need to see. It's not exactly what is this mean. This is the idea behind this lower tail or upper tail. This one tail test cases, I need to show we have to use one tail like this, or this upper tail case like this. Okay, just one tail. Why it's tail? Because we call this upper end and lower end, or these, oh sorry, these case, these areas tails. Okay, so that's why we name it tails, lower tail or upper tail. The other one is two tail case, which means we consider both tails. We consider both tails. Okay, it's like combination of these two, but we have to use different calculation for that. Okay, so we call it two tail cases. Okay, to check these, to perform this test, for an example, pick this one. We have to, okay, this is our claim and this is our null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Okay, to test this, we have to find a numerical method. Okay, numerical method. We need to have a numerical value at the end so that we can check, okay, this is so, this is true. To do that, we use test statistics. Okay, test statistics. There are different test statistics. So we use that test statistic. We check at the end, we check that test statistic value. Okay, that test statistic value lives inside this area or outside this area. Okay, there are a few ways to do that. Okay, it can be a probability value. Sometimes, if we consider that particular technique, we will be having a probability value. Okay, so we check that calculated probability value. Okay, so calculated probability value is inside this area or outside this area. Based on that, we claim that, okay, we reject or do not reject. Clear? Sometime another technique, we use value. Okay, based on this value, based on the values in this axis. Do you remember that axis values, like C values, 1.3, 3.1, something like that. So sometime we calculate that value and take our decision whether that value in somewhere this side or this side. If it is this side, we reject our null hypothesis. If it is not in that particular area, we do not reject. Okay, something like that. Okay, so in general, these areas we call, in this case, this area, in this case, this area, this case, these both areas, we call rejection regions. Okay, we call these areas rejection region. Rejection region. Okay. Okay. Hypothesis for the proportion. Do you remember the proportion case? Population proportion. sample proportion. This is for population proportion because it's just P. So same here, we have only 3 tests. It doesn't matter what we test here and here. Okay, we have these three scenarios. Okay, lower tail, upper tail, which means one tail case, one tail test, or two tail test. I don't know. No, here you cannot see this. There is a blue color line here. There is a blue color line here, and these areas as well. Okay. I have updated this chapter 8.1 note last night and uploaded it to the Blackboard as well. Okay, because I had some examples to this 8.1. Okay, mice example. Okay, it takes one mouse mean time of 18 seconds to find their way through the maze. Okay, through the maze, one mouse can find their find their exit within 18 seconds. Okay, okay. Researcher, okay, this is our claim comes to play. Researcher thinks that loud noise will cause them to complete the maze more quickly. Okay, complete the maze more quickly, which means they believe that if they have more noises, then it is easy to find the way. Mouse can easily find the way more quickly. Okay. Okay. So that researcher measures how long 10 mice take to complete the maze with loud noise. Okay. So they have given one mouse. Normally, it takes 18 seconds. So what happened if we increase the number of mouse? I mean, if we have 10 mice, what do you think? What happened to this 18 seconds? I mean, just don't think about the loud noise and whatever. Okay, for a moment, just forget about these things. Okay, we have one mouse. Okay, it takes 18 seconds to find it exit. Then we need to check 10 mice. Okay, so how long they take to find the exit? Just 18 seconds, right? Just 18 seconds, right? So no need to multiply this 18 by 10 because one mouse, it's an independent case. The other mouse, independent. Doesn't matter this guy or this guy. They need 18 seconds. Clear? So once you get this, I told that because, once you get this value, don't multiply by 10. Okay, that's why I told you. Okay, she measured 10 mice. So don't worry about this number. Okay, you don't need this number. To complete maze, this is important, with loud noise. They have mentioned with loud noise, they can find the way. Researchers claim that more quickly, they can find the way more quickly. More quickly mean what? Less than 18. Clear? So with loud noise, mice can find their ways less than this value. Clear? Less than this value. Okay, not equal, simply less than. Clear? So without any problem, you can show the alternative hypothesis value. It is mu. Why mu? Because this is something about this one, mean time. Normally we measure mean times by, we denote by mu. In this case, you don't have to write, but in general, it is good practice. You have to write it. Let's consider, or let's assume that, let's assume that mean time denotes by mu. That's a good practice. Okay, not only for this, whatever you use, you can write it something like this. So I know what is this mu. Okay, that's it. Okay, so In this case, alternative and null hypothesis is this. Alternative hypothesis is always what we believe. That's why this come to play here. Under the loud noise scenario, we believe that they can find their way more quickly. Okay, so less than 18 seconds. Okay.